Praise the Lord, my dear friends. We are on the 25th of December, the Christmas day. We have been preparing ourselves for the past 25 days, and today we are welcoming Jesus into our own hearts. Today in the Gospel taken from St. John chapter 1, we hear about the Word becoming flesh. And it is mentioned, He came to His own, and His own did not receive Him. But to all who did receive Him, who believed in His name, He gave the power to become children of God. A name that we hear often when we talk about Christmas is Emmanuel, which means God with us. Christmas is an occasion where we remember how God came to be with us. Now, when we celebrate the fact that God came to dwell with us, it's good that we ask ourselves whether we are with God or not. Emmanuel, God with us, but are we with God? How do we know whether we are with God? And that's where we have to see the Gospel reading where it is said, to all who did receive Him and who believed in His name, He gave the power to become children of God. Are we children of God? The fact that we are children of God is not our merit. We know that God took the initiative and made us His children. It is His initiative. However, it is mentioned in the Gospel, to all who believed in His name, He gave the power to become children of God. So it's not that we are automatically added into the children of God, but we have the power to belong to that group. We have to consciously make effort and belong to that group. That doesn't mean that it is our effort. It is God who took the initiative. However, we need to make conscious effort to permanently belong to that group. So how can we belong to the group of the children of God? When we see the first letter of St. John, chapter 3, verse 1 onwards, we See what love the Father has given to us, that we should be called the children of God. And in verse 2, Beloved, that is what we are. We are children of God. What we will be in the future is not yet being revealed, but we do know this. When He will be revealed, we will be like Him, for we will see Him as He is. And all who has this hope in Him purify themselves as He is pure. So we see one thing here. If we believe that we are children of God and we do want to belong to that group of children of God, we need to constantly be in the process of purifying ourselves to become more and more pure like God Himself. And later in verse 8, St. John says, Everyone who commits sin is a child of the devil, for the devil has been sinning from the beginning. So if that be the case, what is Christmas? Christmas is the celebration where the Lord gave us the power to become children of God by purifying ourselves constantly, by carefully avoiding every sinful tendency that we have. And this is not a once and for all decision. It's a constant and daily fidelity that we need to pay attention to. We may find ourselves falling back to the same sin even after taking a strong resolution or decision. But we need not get discouraged because the Lord has given the power to become children of God. That would mean the Lord has given the power to overcome that through constant and daily effort. And again, when we talk about becoming the children of God, we see Romans chapter 8 verse 14 where St. Paul says, all who are guided by the Spirit of God are children of God. So in order to become children of God, in order to be able to purify ourselves constantly, we need to be guided by the Spirit of God. So Christmas is also an occasion for us to surrender ourselves completely to the guidance of the Holy Spirit. And again, St. Paul in Galatians chapter 5 verse 16 tells us, Live by the Spirit and do not gratify the desires of the flesh. For what the flesh desires is opposed to the Spirit, and what the Spirit desires is opposed to the flesh. For these are opposed to each other. And later he goes on to say, what are the desires of the flesh? And then in chapter 5 verse 22, he gives us the list of the fruits of the Holy Spirit. They are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So if we are guided by the Spirit, these fruits of the Spirit will be manifested through our dealings with our neighbors, friends, relatives, and so on. So, to become children of God, it's important that we keep purifying ourselves constantly. In order to purify ourselves constantly, it's important that we are led by the Spirit. And to be led by the Spirit, it's important that we make effort and grow in the fruits of the Holy Spirit. So, in short, how can we, during this Christmas, make sure that we become children of God? It is by becoming a little more loving, a little more generous, a little more kind, a little more gentle, or having a little more self-control in our personal life, and so on. Let us spend some time during this Christmas thinking about our own personal lives and seeing how are we in our dealings with others. Is there a way in which we can be more gentle, more loving, more generous, and so on? And if we make effort towards bearing more fruit of the Holy Spirit, this Christmas will be a meaningful celebration. May God bless each one of us.